How's it going? My name is Dylan. I'm a solution engineer here at Salesforce. I am so pumped to talk to you about Agentforce Coworker. It's in beta today. It's out. If you have an enterprise edition or higher of Salesforce and access to Agentforce, you can actually turn this on today. And instead of talking to you about it and telling you how great it is and showing you a basic demo, we're actually going to turn it on together. We're going to set it up, and then we're actually going to use it in just a few minutes. So let's get started. So first thing you need is to set up permissions. Like most things in Salesforce, I want to make sure the people who have access to this are the ones that should have access to this. And then we've got a very quick guide here on salesforce.com that you can follow to turn this on. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to jump over to permission sets. I have my user here. You're going to be looking for the Agentforce Coworker permission. Now in my org, I have the previous title, which was called Ask Agentforce. So I need the admin and user permissions. You'll need those respective permissions for your org based on Agentforce Coworker. Once you assign those, the next thing we do is we're going to search for Ask Agentforce or Agentforce Coworker in the sidebar to jump into the settings page. Now we're going to go into the Salesforce Go experience, which is our new method of turning stuff on in Salesforce. It's super easy. All you do is click turn on, and Agentforce will actually go through and turn on everything for you. Pretty awesome. Now, once it turns on, you actually have some options here to customize this experience. So we have the ability to add some data. So you can see here Salesforce is set up for us. I can even set up Slack. If Slack is connected to Salesforce, with one click, I have Slack integrated. No MCP, no API, no CLI, no three-letter acronym. It's just there. I can also turn on Data 360 and bring in my data from Data 360. So imagine I want to bring in Google Drive, SharePoint, maybe a custom connector, Zendesk data, anything you want from Data 360, I can bring it into Agentforce Coworker. Now, as we go forward here, I have some different options. I can turn on recent searches. I can change the entire experience for sellers and users, and we'll show you that in just a moment by replacing the old search bar with the new one. And then, of course, we have to give permission to the folks that want to use it. Now, I want to go into Salesforce here and show you what this looks like. So first thing you'll notice is at the top bar here, we have the new experience. This is that agentic search experience powered by Agentforce Coworker. And so I can see some of the different records that I've looked at, but I can also type a question here and click ask, and it will go and search this for me. But instead, I want to have a full screen experience. So this is Agentforce Coworker. And the first thing I'm going to notice is that Salesforce and Slack are both connected, which is great. I can see some of these kind of recommendations and things to ask in terms of catching up, planning, and finding out some information. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a question around my opportunities. And the first thing I want you to notice here is that Agentforce Coworker knows me. It knows that I'm Dylan. It knows that I'm an account executive. It knows that I own certain opportunities and I own certain accounts. And the other point I want to point out here is that look how fast this is. I don't have to connect to an MCP. It doesn't need to make a tool call. It can directly query that data because I'm in Salesforce after all. And the best part about this, I think, is being able to hover over a record to get a little preview of some information on that record. I can even click into the record to see exactly what's going on. It makes it really easy and a really great experience. And so I've got the answer I need, and I want to ask another question around comparing open opportunities to open cases. I'm also wearing the service hat lately, so I need to understand what's going on. You can see Agentforce Coworker starts to look across all the different records in Salesforce. It starts to understand ownership. It doesn't need to run a query and crunch some numbers. It's doing this natively within Salesforce's knowledge graph. And so you can see here, we've got some open opportunities, we've got some open cases, and I have sort of that agentic key takeaway there at the bottom. I want to ask another question around leads. I've been skipping over my leads lately. I tend to go to the list. I say, I don't want to call these people. I want to get off early, but I need to get back to it. And I want to find out who's been sitting in the same status for 30 days before my manager freaks out. And so you can see here, we've got all of our information on the lead. It's starting to understand what does it mean to sit in a status for leads over 30 days because it has a different field in Salesforce, but it's intelligent enough to understand that. And so we can see that huge backlog of almost 200 leads with some touch out leads there and some to call out. Now, again, this is that agentic experience that we're all used to at this point, but I'm in Salesforce and it's really, really fast. Now, if I want to ask another question, I can say, show me activities. Now, this one can be challenging for different LLMs and different tools out there because it may not be clear what a task is, what an event is, what is a call, but Salesforce knows this because this is native knowledge to Salesforce. Now, you can see it's going to go over there, it's going to understand what day it is, what week it is, and it's going to start pulling up that information. pretty fast and pretty cool. You can see I've had a great week with some of the AI and machine learning labs out there. And we can see some of the other accounts that I've been reaching out to. But I haven't had any meetings this week, which is quite embarrassing. So we've had a great week, but before I end out this demo, I want to ask a big question. So I'm a seller. I'm struggling to close deals right now. It's tough. What's one account I should engage? And actually, don't just tell me, but write an email to the top decision maker at that account. I need to book a meeting. So this is a more complex query, right? Agentforce Coworker has to think a little bit and say, okay, let me really understand Dylan's pipeline. Let me understand his accounts. And let me actually go write an email to somebody at that account that is referred to as a decision maker. So you can see there, it went and searched Slack at the end to grab some more context, which is super important. And so it looks like I have my one account to go after. We have an identified decision maker, which is super exciting. I've got some risk there that I need to talk about, but I have this incredible email that is grounded in not just CRM context, but also Slack. If I want to bring in my SharePoint data or Google Drive, I can do that as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so pumped on Agentforce Coworker. I think this is going to be a big game changer for our customers. If you need help setting this up or you get stuck, please reach out to me and let me know. Thanks so much for watching. Have an awesome one. Take care.